good evening. You're listening to Quiet Sleep Cat, a calm place for slow stories and gentle rest. You don't need to focus. Just relax and let the night carry you. A few evenings after the lantern flowers were seen under their autumn light, Moonlight Town settles into a quieter rhythm again. The excitement of return has already softened. The path behind the fences is still warm with memory. The bridge lantern still burns in its familiar place, and the shared garden now rests without waiting for anything more. The town has not become empty after that. It has only become calm in a new way. The kind of calm that comes when something hoped for has already happened, and the people of a place can go back to their ordinary tenderness. On one of these evenings, the bakery is the last shop on the lane, still holding a little gold in its windows. Not bright gold, not the loud sort. Only the deep and gentle color of warm bread, polished wood, and lamplight gathered in glass. The sign above the door has already been turned to closed. But inside, Mrs. Imai is still at work. She is wiping the long counter slowly, lining up the tongs, brushing flour from the far corner of the bread shelf, and humming so softly that the tune seems less sung than remembered. The air inside the bakery is thick with the final smells of the day. Sweet butter, warm milk, a little cinnamon, the darker scent of toasted crust, and under all of it, the steady, comforting smell of yeast and old wood that has absorbed years of morning dough and evening bread. It is the kind of air that makes the whole room feel inhabited, even after the customers have gone home. The kind of air that says, some places do not stop being welcoming just because the door has closed. May is there too, sitting on the small stool near the back table with a folded apron in her lap. She has come to help only for a short while, she said. But as often happens in Moonlight Town, a short while has become longer in a peaceful way. One tray needed carrying, one basket needed tying, one cloth needed shaking out. Then another small task appeared, and another, until the evening itself had quietly decided she should stay. Near the oven, the old cooling rack holds only 3 small buns now, their tops glazed and golden, saved for tomorrow's first customers, or for whoever in town might still pass by late and look tired. Mrs. Imai is the kind of baker who never says she expects anyone. She simply leaves enough warmth for the possibility. Breath in and out. When the last basket has been stacked away, Mrs. Imai turns toward the narrow cupboard at the back of the bakery. It is a deep, old cupboard, with lower drawers no one opens very often, except during colder months or festival weeks. Inside are spare linens, extra wrapping paper, old cake boards, tins with chipped labels, and a few things that have remained useful for so long that nobody remembers when they first arrived. Tonight, she opens the bottom drawer because she is looking for a thicker cloth to place beneath tomorrow morning's honey loaves. The drawer does not slide easily. It resists for a moment, then gives with a soft, wooden sigh. Mrs. Imai kneels, lifts one folded cloth, then another, and pauses. "May," she says, not loudly, "would you bring the lamp a little closer?" May rises at once and carries the small counter lamp toward her. In its warm circle of light, something can be seen beneath the cloth stack. Not flower paper, not a recipe board. Something bound, something dark blue, something flat and worn at the corners. Mrs. Imai lifts it with both hands. It is a notebook, old enough for the cover cloth to have softened to the touch, but not neglected. The edges are rubbed smooth rather than damaged. A narrow ribbon, once cream-colored, hangs from the middle like a pale thread of memory. No title appears on the front. No label. No name. Only the feeling, when Mrs. Imai turns it slightly in the light, that this was once held often and carefully. "I've never seen that before," May whispers. Mrs. Imai shakes her head slowly. "Nor have I," she says. "But this drawer used to hold more than cloths, years ago. Before the front shelves were changed. Before the new breadboards. Before we moved the tea tins nearer the window." She brushes a thumb over the cover, not as though cleaning it, but as though greeting it. "Sometimes places keep things quietly," she adds. May looks at the notebook with the gentle curiosity Moonlight Town seems to invite from everyone. It does not look mysterious in a sharp or urgent way. It looks like something waiting to be remembered properly. Mrs. Imai opens the cover. Inside the front page, written in soft brown ink, faded almost to amber, are 7 small words. "For wishes too quiet to say aloud." Neither of them speaks for a moment. The bakery seems to grow even stiller around them. The racks, the cloths, the dark oven door. The last 3 buns cooling patiently near the wall. Even the flour in the seams of the table seems to pause and listen. May leans closer. "Wishes?" Mrs. Imai turns the page. There, in different hands, different inks, and different years of careful writing, are short entries. Not recipes, not orders, not accounts. Each line begins with a date or a season, then moves into one quiet sentence after another. Not dramatic requests, not impossible dreams, only small wishes that sound as though they were written by people who trusted the bakery to keep warm things safe. One says, "I wish the rain would wait until Mrs. Vale gets home from the library." Another says, "I wish the bridge would stay bright until my brother returns from the night road." Another, written in a rounder hand, says, "I wish for one morning with no hurry at all." May looks up. "This belongs to the town," she says softly. Mrs. Imai nods. "Yes," she says. "I think it does." Mrs. Imai carries the notebook to the back table and sets it down beside the bread scale, the lamp, and a small ceramic plate dusted with flour from some earlier task. The scene is so ordinary that the notebook might have looked strange there in another place. But in Moonlight Town, it fits almost at once. A town that has kept old letters, borrowed lanterns and paths prepared for returning feet can also keep, it seems, a book of wishes hidden in a bakery drawer. May sits again on the stool, though now she leans forward, her hands folded together as if not wanting to disturb the pages by even a careless movement in the air. Mrs. Imai turns the next page, then the next. The notebook is not full, but it is not sparse either. Its entries appear across many years, though not in any strict order. Some pages hold 3 small wishes from one winter. Some pages carry only one line written during a spring, several seasons later. The handwriting changes again and again. Neat script, large, sleepy letters, quick, narrow strokes. One childish page where the ink has blotted in 2 corners, as if the writer pressed too hard while thinking. It becomes clear very quickly that the notebook was never meant to be formal. No one wrote explanations for who they were. No one signed full names. Many did not sign at all. And yet, the pages do not feel anonymous. They feel known, as if anyone in the bakery at the time would have looked at a line and quietly understood the person behind it without needing a proper introduction. Mrs. Imai reads only a few aloud. I wish the rosemary by the back fence would survive the frost. I wish the little train, if it ever comes late again, will still find one lamp waiting. I wish the tailor would sleep before midnight for once. May smiles at that one. That wasn't granted, she says. No, says Mrs. Imai with a soft laugh. But perhaps it was hoped for many times. They continue reading. Some wishes are almost practical enough to be chores. Some are tender enough to sound like prayers, though no one has called them that. None ask for wealth. None ask for greatness. None ask for the world to become something other than what it is. Most ask only that a small piece of life be made gentler, that a path be easier, that someone arrives safely, that a morning slow down, that a song be remembered, that bread remain warm until the right hands reach it. Breath in and out. May notices something else then. Mrs. Imai, she says, touching the lower edge of one page without quite touching the paper itself. Some of these have marks beside them. Mrs. Imai looks. She is right. Near certain wishes, a tiny star has been drawn in pencil. Near others, a soft line in the margin. Near a few, a very small note has been added later in different ink. The rain did wait. He came by the late bell. The frost was not too hard that year. It is not a record of magic, not a list of miracles. Only a quiet habit, it seems, of noting when life had answered kindly. When the town, the season, or the people in it had somehow made room for a wish to come true in its own modest way. May feels the room grow warmer again, though perhaps it is only because the idea itself is warm. So people wrote them here, she says, and someone kept track? Or several people did, Mrs. Imai answers. Bakery hands change. Assistants grow older. Some people help for a season and then move on. But places remember customs longer than people remember who began them. She turns back to the first page once more. For wishes too quiet to say aloud. It sounds like something my grandmother might have approved of, she says. Not announcing sorrow, not displaying hope, just letting it rest somewhere warm for a while. May lifts her eyes toward the darkened front of the bakery. Outside, the street is deep blue now. The bridge lantern is no doubt lit. The library windows have probably gone dim. Somewhere, the post office will have lowered its lamp. The whole town is folding itself toward sleep. And in the middle of that soft turning, here's a notebook filled with wishes people did not want to leave in the cold. What do we do with it? She asks. Mrs. Imai does not answer immediately. She closes the notebook only halfway and rests one hand over it. We do not hide it again, she says at last. That much I know. May nods. No. But nor should we treat it like a spectacle. This is not something to set in the window between the plum buns and the sesame loaves. May smiles faintly. No. Mrs. Imai thinks a little longer, then opens to the middle. There, she says softly. On the page before them is the line May noticed first. I wish for one morning with no hurry at all. No name follows it. Only a small leaf drawn in the corner, and beside it, no star, no note, no sign that the wish was ever answered. The handwriting is steady but tired-looking somehow, with the last word trailing downward, as if the writer's hand grew heavy before the sentence ended. Mrs. Imai studies it. This one, she says. I think this should be the first. The first what? The first wish we help along. May looks at her. Mrs. Imai's expression is gentle and practical at once, which, in Moonlight Town, often means a decision has already been made in the heart before it is said aloud. If the bakery kept this book, she says, then perhaps the bakery once did more than keep it. Perhaps it helped. May glances again at the line. One morning with no hurry at all. Such a small thing. Such a large thing, too. And in that quiet room at the back of the bakery, with the warm smell of bread still holding to the air, and the lamp making a little circle around the open page, the new arc begins not with a discovery alone, but with a choice. Not merely to read the wishes, but to answer them, softly, one by one, whenever the town can. The bakery is nearly ready for sleep, but neither May nor Mrs. Imai feels ready to close the notebook. The line before them has made the rest of the evening gentler and more awake at the same time. I wish for one morning with no hurry at all. It is the kind of wish many people would understand at once, and yet never write down, because it sounds too simple, because it sounds selfish when spoken aloud, because many tired people learn to stop asking for restful things when the world has made them practical for too long. And perhaps that is exactly why this notebook existed. To hold the wishes that would otherwise go unsaid. Mrs. Imai turns back one page and then forward again, searching for some clue in the dates, the ink, the shape of the writing. "There," May says softly. A page 2 leaves earlier contains a note in the same hand. "Need to rise before dawn again. 3 mornings this week. No complaint, only tired." Mrs. Imai's eyes narrow with recognition, not from suspicion, but from memory trying to find its shelf. "That hand," she murmurs. "I know it from somewhere. From the bakery? Perhaps. Or from receipts. Or from the corner shop. Or from the library ledger years ago." Some hands stay familiar, even when the name takes longer. She closes her eyes for a brief second, then opens them again. "No, I cannot place it yet." May is quiet. Then she says, "Maybe the person still lives here." Mrs. Imai nods once. Likely. The two of them begin, in the calmest possible way, to think through the town. Not in a sharp or investigative manner. No suspects. No dramatic deductions. Only the slow and tender work of asking. Who in Moonlight Town needed quiet most often and asked for it least? The tailor works late, but he is not an early riser by necessity. Miss Elin at the library keeps long evenings, yet her mornings are usually her own. The herb grower wakes early, yes, but she also welcomes dawn and would not describe it as hurry. The post office clerk has known tired weeks, but the hand does not seem right. The baker herself has many hurried mornings, but Mrs. Imai knows her own writing too well to mistake it. Breath in and out. Then May thinks of the woman who sweeps the lane near the square before most lamps are out. Not because anyone compels her, but because delivery carts arrive early, and the stones are safer when leaves and dust are already cleared. She thinks of how that woman, Mrs. Vale's cousin Hannah, always looks composed in public, and always says she is fine, even when her shoulders carry the stiffness of 3 unfinished days. She thinks of how Hannah often comes into the bakery just after first light for plain bread, never sweetbread, and always seems already halfway into her next task while thanking Mrs. Imai. "Hannah," May says. Mrs. Imai looks up at once. And because the name rings true, the silence after it becomes very soft. "Yes," says Mrs. Imai. "Yes, I think that may be right." Hers? I would not swear to it, but I would trust the feeling. The wish sits between them on the page, like a small candle not yet lit. One quiet morning. Not a holiday, not a grand reward. Only one morning where nothing presses too quickly against the next thing. One morning where bread can be eaten warm while sitting down. One morning where a kettle can finish singing before someone rushes away from it. One morning where footsteps do not need to be practical from the very first moment. What would that look like? May asks. Mrs. Imai considers. It would begin before she reaches the bakery, she says. The lane would already be swept. Someone else could do it. Yes. The first bread could be set aside. Yes. And perhaps tea. Mrs. Imai smiles. Certainly tea. They continue building the shape of the wish. Not extravagance. Not interruption. Only gentle subtraction. One task removed. One burden lightened. One necessary hurry made unnecessary. Enough for morning to open like a window, rather than a door pushed too quickly inward. If Hana comes every market day dawn, then the next market morning will do. If she reaches the square just before sunrise, then the bread must already be warm. If she notices details only when she is not rushing, then the table in the corner by the window should be set before she enters. A cloth, a cup, no crowd, no explanation larger than the moment can bear. May looks toward the last 3 buns on the rack. We can do this, she says. Mrs. Imai closes the notebook carefully, with the ribbon placed between the page of the wish and the cover. Yes, she says softly, we can. And because this is Moonlight Town, where the smallest acts of care often travel farther than louder gestures, the plan for answering the first wish does not require speeches or permission from the whole town. It requires bread, time, a swept lane, a waiting cup, and 2 people willing to prepare gentleness in advance. By the time May leaves the bakery that night, the town is already resting deeper under its warm lanterns. The bridge glows over dark water. The library is quiet. The post office lamp is low. And above the stone path, the air carries that cool autumn stillness, which makes every window seem a little more protective of the light inside it. May walks slowly home, thinking not of mystery, but of arrangement. A lane swept before dawn. Bread warmed early. A window table prepared. Tea poured before footsteps arrive. A morning made lighter, not by changing the whole world, but by changing the first few minutes of one person's day. The next afternoon, she returns with a broom borrowed from the back shed near the garden lane, because the bakery broom is too soft for the square stones. Mrs. Imai has already chosen which bread to set aside. 2 plain milk rolls, 1 darker crust loaf, and a small bun glazed only lightly so that sweetness does not feel like a demand. No labels, no display card. Only a tray covered in clean linen and placed where the oven's last stored warmth will keep it kind until dawn. Miss Ellen is told only enough to help. If she sees Hana pass the library corner too early, she is to keep her a minute with some small question about a returned book. Nothing elaborate. Only enough to slow one step so another can catch up. The post office clerk agrees, with the quiet seriousness reserved for town matters that are small but important. To sweep the first half of the square before first light. May will do the second half. Mrs. Imai will light the bakery lamp before dawn and set the window table. Breath in and out. No one calls it a project. No one announces a plan. It is only that by evening, 4 people in Moonlight Town understand that one tired woman once wished for a morning with no hurry at all. And the town, having heard it late, has decided it is not too late to answer. Before sleeping, Mrs. Imai opens the notebook one more time. She does not write in it yet. She only rests her fingers beside the line. I wish for one morning with no hurry at all. Then she closes the book and places it not back in the drawer, but on the high shelf behind the counter, where recipe books and tea ledgers rest within easy reach. The wish book is hidden no longer, not displayed, only returned to use. When morning finally comes, it comes quietly. The square stones are already partly clear before the sky has even decided to grow pale. A faint coolness sits in the lane. The bridge lantern burns low but steady in the last of the night. Inside the bakery, the first lamp is lit. The kettle is beginning to warm, and the small corner table by the window has been covered with a simple cloth. A cup waits there, a plate, nothing grand, only enough to say, "Sit, if only for a little." Hannah appears at the far end of the lane, exactly as May expected. Shoulders straight, steps efficient, scarf tied properly. Already carrying the shape of the day before sunrise has fully arrived. Then she pauses. The stones nearest the square are already swept. She looks down, then toward the bakery window, where the lamp is on earlier than usual. Then toward the library corner, where Miss Ellen, just as promised, is outside with a returned volume in hand and a question that is barely a question at all. A small delay, a small redirection, a small kindness. Enough. Hannah enters the bakery. Mrs. Imai says only, "You're early enough for warm bread." And because the table is there, because the tea is already being poured, because the tray has been kept ready, because no one has asked her to explain her tiredness or earn her rest, Hannah does something unusual. She sits, just for a moment at first, then properly. The bread arrives warm. The tea follows. Outside, the lane remains quiet. Inside, nothing presses her onward immediately. No urgent voice, no unfinished request, no broom needed in her hands. Only steam rising from the cup and the first true stillness of morning landing around her shoulders like a shawl. May, watching from the counter, sees the exact moment Hannah understands something has been arranged for her. Not a surprise, not a performance. Only one morning, at last, with no hurry at all. And on the shelf behind Mrs. Imai, the old notebook waits, with its ribbon resting between pages, ready for the next wish, and the next, and the next. because in Moonlight Town, some stories are carried by letters, some by lanterns. And now, quietly, a new arc begins to be carried by bread, warm shelves, and the wishes people trusted a bakery to keep. Good night, and sleep well.